Let me paint you a picture. You're at a social thing, could be a party, a work event, a wedding where you only know the couple and one aunt who keeps asking when you're getting married. And there's this moment. You're standing there, drink in hand, and you genuinely want to talk to someone. Not because you have to, because you actually want to. And then, nothing happens. You check your phone, you eat something you didn't need, you study the ceiling like it's the most interesting architecture you've ever seen. And the evening just kind of passes. And the funniest part? You go home and tell yourself, I'm just an introvert. No, you were terrified. Those are different things. I've watched this happen so many times, with people I know, with people I've met, honestly, with myself too. And for the longest time, I thought it was just personality. Some people are made for rooms, some people aren't. But then I started actually paying attention, watching who gets approached, who doesn't, what's different about them. And what I found was so simple, it almost made me want to laugh. Because we've been thinking about this completely backwards. Here's what most of us do when we want people to come talk to us. We think about what we're going to say. We rehearse little openers. We wonder if we're interesting enough. We basically run a whole internal audition that the other person doesn't even know is happening. Which is exhausting, by the way. You're basically doing two people's jobs, your nerves and theirs, and getting paid for none of it. But here's the thing. People don't walk over to you because they've calculated that you're worth talking to. They walk over because something about being near you felt okay, felt easy, felt like it wouldn't be awkward or painful or one of those conversations you have to rescue every 30 seconds. That decision, yeah, I'll go talk to them, is made in seconds. And it's made almost entirely on feel. Before you've said a word, before you've been interesting or funny or impressive, it's already happened. So the question isn't, how do I seem more interesting? The question is, what am I doing right now before I even open my mouth that makes people feel like coming over is a good idea? Let's start with the thing nobody wants to hear. Your body language is doing most of the talking, and there's a very good chance it's saying something you don't intend. When we're nervous in a social setting, the body does this automatic thing. Shoulders come in, arms cross, eyes drop to the phone or the floor. We make ourselves small. And it makes sense. Smaller target, less chance of something going wrong. But to the person across the room who's thinking about coming over, it reads as, I'm not available right now. Don't interrupt me. I'm deeply involved in this thing on my screen, which is probably just my email refresh on loop. We are accidentally ghosting people who haven't even met us yet, in person. That takes skill, honestly. I knew someone, I'll call him Rohan, genuinely brilliant company once you got him talking. Funny, thoughtful, the kind of person you don't forget. But at any new social event, he'd find a wall, lean against it, cross his arms, and stare at the room like he was supervising it. And then wonder why people didn't approach him. And I remember telling him, you look like a bouncer at your own party. Of course nobody's coming up to you. Quick fix. Try this now. Next time you're standing somewhere social and you feel yourself folding in, just drop your shoulders. Physically let them fall. Unclench your jaw. And look up, not down. You don't need to smile wide or perform anything. Just let your face do its default, relaxed thing. That alone changes what you're broadcasting to an entire room. So what does actually open look like in practice? Because I know body language advice usually sounds like a TED Talk from 2012, and I'm trying to give you something real. Here's the most useful thing I've found. Think about what you look like when you're waiting for someone you genuinely like. A friend, someone you're excited to see. You're standing somewhere, You know they're arriving soon. What does your body do? You're relaxed, eyes on the room, face doing its natural thing. Maybe a small smile, maybe just neutral, but not tense. You're taking up your actual amount of space. You're not hiding. You're just there, comfortably, in a way that says, I belong here and I'm okay with that. That energy is magnetic, not because it's performing anything, because it isn't. People are drawn to people who seem okay. Because most people in that room are also a little anxious, a little unsure, quietly hoping someone makes it easy. And when they spot someone who looks genuinely at ease, they feel relief. And relief is a very, very easy emotion to walk toward. Before you walk in, do this. Literally say to yourself, I'm waiting for someone I like. You can even picture a specific person. Let your body land in that mode before you step through the door. It sounds almost too small to matter. It genuinely isn't. Here's the part I think matters most, and it's a little uncomfortable, so stay with me. When we're socially nervous, our attention goes almost entirely inward. We're running this constant background commentary. Am I being weird? Did that land wrong? Why did I say that? Why do I always say that? Oh no, they looked away. Does that mean something? It's basically a very unhelpful podcast that plays inside your head and nobody else can hear. No guests, no good episodes. Just you, on repeat, cross-examining yourself about a conversation that hasn't even happened yet. And here's what that self-focus costs you. It creates a wall. You're physically in the room, but mentally you're somewhere else. And people feel that without knowing why. Talking to someone who's half inside their own head is oddly draining. You can't put your finger on it, but something just feels a little off. Versus being with someone who is genuinely, actually curious about you. Not performing interest, actually has it. Asks something because they want to know. Laughs because something got them. Listens like what you're saying is the thing they came here for. I have a memory from a few years ago, a random conversation at a train station with someone I'll never see again. I don't remember what we talked about, but I remember leaving that conversation feeling like I'd just said something really worth saying. She just had this quality of attention that made you feel like you were interesting. Not in a flattering way, in a real way. I thought about her more than I thought about people I've known for years. And she didn't do anything except actually pay attention. That's available to you, right now. You don't need to be wittier or more confident. You just need to point your attention outward instead of inward. And suddenly, the self-consciousness has less room to breathe. Before any social situation, ask yourself one genuine question. Not a script, not an opener, just something you'd actually love to find out about a person. What's something someone here might have done that I've never heard of? That's it. Walk in curious, not braced. Your whole energy shifts when you're looking for something interesting instead of avoiding something painful. Okay, practical moment number 2. Because mindset is everything, but sometimes you also just need to know where to stand. When people are nervous at social events, they drift. They wander the edges of the room. They move from spot to spot, trying to look purposeful while feeling completely lost. And that drifting sends out this low-level signal that says, I don't know where I belong here. And nobody rushes to approach someone who looks like they're trying to find the exit without being obvious about it. So here's what actually works. Find a spot that makes natural sense. Near the food, near the drinks, near wherever people pass through. And just be there, comfortably, not hovering, not scanning desperately, just there, like that spot was always going to be yours tonight. You become a fixed, calm point in a room full of people also quietly orbiting each other. And approaching a fixed point is so much easier than approaching someone who's moving. You've done the hard work for them without saying a thing. Someone I know tried this at a work event where he genuinely didn't know a single person. He stood near the coffee, not because he needed more coffee, he'd had 3 cups already and was vibrating slightly, but because it was a natural place to be. Within 15 minutes, 4 different people had come up. He texted me after saying, "I think I accidentally figured out social situations." He didn't. He just stopped making it hard to reach him. Pick your spot within the first 2 minutes of arriving, somewhere central and natural. Commit to it for at least 10 minutes before moving. Let people come to you. Resist the urge to drift the moment things feel slightly uncomfortable. That discomfort is just your nervous system adjusting. Give it time. So let's pull it all together. How do you get people to talk to you first? You stop making approaching you feel like a risk. You open up your body language, not dramatically, just drop the armor a little. You pick a spot and stay in it. You point your attention outward, toward the people around you, instead of inward at the running commentary in your head. And you walk in with something real, genuine curiosity, not a performance of it. None of this is about becoming someone different. It's about letting enough of who you already are show up in the room. The warmth, the interest in people, the fact that somewhere under the nerves, you actually like human beings and find them fascinating. Because here's what I've noticed over and over again. The people we remember most from any room, they weren't the loudest, they weren't the funniest. They were the ones who made being around them feel easy. Like the conversation could go anywhere and it would be fine. Like you were allowed to just be a person and that was enough. You can be that. Not by working harder at it, by working less. Less at performing, less at protecting, less at trying to earn your place in a room you already belong in. Before your next social thing, and I mean the very next one, even if it's just bumping into a neighbor, try just one of these. The open body, the anchor spot, the curious question. 1. See what shifts. And then come back and tell me. Drop it in the comments. What's the situation where this feels hardest for you? Work events? Parties? Dates? Let me know and I'll go deeper on whichever one comes up most. If this felt useful, share it with someone who spends too much time studying ceilings at parties. They'll thank you later. See you in the next one.